Welcome to Joint Health, everybody. I'm so happy, so excited to have you here. Now you've taken the first step, you've joined in, right? You already got momentum. This is what a lot of people will not do. You've already taken the first step. Now we're gonna keep moving forward. But before we go into the workouts, I wanna outline and discuss some of the foundations of what joint health is, what joints are, and then how we can use joint health to help us keep moving longer, healthier, and more robust for longevity through life. Have you ever seen those 90-year-olds, or like even they're out there 100-year-olds that are still doing what they've always been doing? They're still walking, they're still moving, being able to take a shower on their own. I mean, these are things that we take for granted, but at that age, we kind of expect to not be able to do those things. Well, what are those people that are doing those things, that are still working out in the fields and lifting stuff and moving, being able to experience whole full life? What are they doing differently? What is their, what's their secret, right? Well, after years of studying what they've been doing, and not only using it on myself, but using it with high-level athletes that need to be able to move and perform extremely well in high periods and high-stress environments, and using it with elderly clients that may be recovering from injury or maybe needing to move and have goals of longevity on their own, what have I used to help them achieve mobility and stability and robust body movement for all the years to come? Well, this is what we're going to be diving into in all these workouts, which I'm so excited. I am a mobility and stability nerd on this stuff. I can just roll around and do all these stretches and movements for hours and days on end because I love how it feels, and I love how it's like unlocking a secret door. I mean, think about how that feels. We now have the key to unlock a whole new life that so many people don't have access to. And this is why not only I created this program, but why I've done this with client after client, because I want to show people that, hey, it's out there, this is achievable, and it's doable. So what are joints? Joints are everywhere in our body. I have a shoulder joint, all my fingers have joints. It allows for movement to happen. If there were no joints, well, then there would be no mobility, meaning I can't move a certain amount. But also, why can't I move my finger past this point? Because there needs to be, well, this is more muscle, but there needs to be a certain amount of stability, right? I can't just have pure mobility and be a jelly man, gumbo man. I need to have some stability as well. So us playing with the relationship between mobility and stability in certain joints is what allows for extremely well designed movement that helps us live longer. We do more things for longer periods of time. We're able to be healthier, decrease risk of injury. All these things are so good. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using what each joint is designed for, what each joint is designed to do to help us move longer and move healthier. If I have my shoulder joint, I need to have a lot of mobility, and sometimes if I lack mobility and I have a really stable shoulder joint, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but if you go too far on one end, then sometimes my shoulder joint, and let's say I can only go up to here because of lack of mobility, it will gather mobility from another joint to get to the position I want it to. If my goal is to have it straight up by my ear, well, my lower back is bent right now, but my shoulder is still forward. My shoulder does not change. So how can I get this to this without moving this, right? This is basically what we're working on. All these relationships between the joints and the muscles, lengthening muscles that need to be lengthened. There's certain patterns that I've discovered over the years. There's really like 4 or 5 major patterns that even I deal with. Everybody deals with these patterns of tight hips. Maybe you sit for long periods of time in the day, 8+ hours. I mean, on average, I looked it up, 13 hours a day on average we sit. I remember I did a presentation on this. It came out to 47.5 years of our lives are spent in a seated position out of 50 years. So this 50-year period, 47.5 of those years are spent in a seated, stationary position. Moment of silence after that one. That's a long period of time sitting. So how can we look at what that might do to our body, and how can we combat that? How can we work with that and become better by what we're doing here in the mobility and stability practice? So we learned what joints are. Well, now we learn how to move certain joints, and that's what we'll be doing in most of the exercises and workout videos that I've made. Going through a lot of stretches and mobility. Mobility will be the lengthening of muscles around the joint. So if I'm stretching out my chest, I'm mobilizing my chest. That's really what that means. And then as I stabilize, in this case, this shoulder joint, maybe I go to a scap push-up or something that activates the shoulder joint to become more stable, right? A quick example of what we will be doing a lot of the time is I'll start out with a question. Think about, maybe you've done this, so you know someone that goes to the massage parlor or massage therapist every week or every month or something, and they just have that tight shoulder. Or maybe you've had a tight shoulder for years. Well, why does it keep being tight even after you stretch it out, you get a ball, you do trigger point on it, or you get a massage, shoulder rub? Those are the best. But why do we keep going back to it? Why doesn't it go away? Is it just because of our lifestyle? Well, if that's your answer, then yes, you're correct, but that's not it. It's because we're not doing it correctly. Massage on its own is not the best thing. Massage is great, but massage then what? So what we do here, we usually start out getting a ball, we do a trigger point, so this would be the massage. We find where our tissue, our muscle is tight, we relax it, and then we go into mobility, we mobilize it. So we either start with trigger point or start with mobility. We stretch, right? We all know how to static stretch. We all do these, reach towards the toes, but again, we don't fix the problem there. So what finishes the three-step process here? It is stability. We need to activate that new range of motion, that new movement that we have. So again, back to the shoulder example, right here, well, if I trigger point it, I get some more range of motion, and then I stabilize it, do some stretches, and now I'm here. Well, if I don't do anything for a week, I'm gonna go back to here because I've been this way for years, right? We go back in our patterns or lifestyle. Well, if I stabilize it now by doing a shoulder exercise or a scap press, maybe I'm lying on my side, I'm doing a scap press, guess what? I just click save on the document because now these muscles, they're in this new range of motion and they got activated, turned on. Now I'm able to stay here. This is my new pattern. This is my new life. This is my new reality, right? This is the beauty, excuse me, oh my God. This is the beauty of what I love about joint health is that we need to trigger point, relax the muscle, mobilize it, and then stabilize it to click save on the document. A great way to move better, move healthier, more robust, and for longer periods of time, and that is joint health, and that is longevity. I'll see you guys in the program.